Good morning YouTube, I'm Vaughn and it's way too early for this. But today we're going to be reviewing the new Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG Ban List that begins on July 1st. Now it won't be a live reaction video because those are scripted and no one wants to hear me say let's go for 3 minutes straight. But what we are going to do is come up with our own solutions. So starting first with the cards that we're no longer allowed to play with is Guard Dragon LP. Which I actually strongly disagree because none of the Dragon Link cards should have been hit on this list because there's just not many good Dragon Link players. What I mean by that is how many of the best players at your local tournament are playing Dragon Links? Not so much. So my solution would have been just ban the good players. Problem solved. Like the guy that won the qualifiers with Dragon Links. He has nothing to look forward to. He's already king of games. Ban him. Because if you don't, what is he going to do in the next 10 years? Do polo tricks of how to combo for 20 minutes? No one wants to see that. Next, we have Zodiac Trident, which was definitely a shocker for most players, but at the same time, apparently Trident Pass was just too strong for most players in today's format. But there is definitely a bright side to it. You can now replace the 3 Tactic Talons and that 180 Zeus for something a lot cheaper. And now we're getting into the limited list with Miscellaneous Saurus. Dino players were trying to build a deck to start first and Konami put them back in that place and told them you're going second. But also the situation with the qualifiers of the Dino players slow playing definitely did not help the case. I never even seen Prankets players stall that much. Next we have Performapal, Let's Go Magician. Performapal, Skullcroback, Joker. Something like that. After that, we have Striker Dragon, which is the most irrelevant card to be on the limited list, but it actually does make sense. Konami is trying to thin out the herd. So all the Dragon players that are not that resourceful with their cards definitely are no longer allowed to play this deck because they will just lose with one Striker Dragon now. Definitely a smart play on Konami's side. Next, we have Salamangreat Mirage Stalio, which is definitely a card that most Salamangreaters said that they're not even going to attempt to even play it because it's level 3, not really that impressive, to be very honest. But also it makes you question, why didn't they just bring back Gazelle at 3? It's not like we have a deck that has 4 different Gazelles in it or anything. True story. And then we have Sky Striker Engage, which honestly should have been just Power of Greed. It would have been a lot more generic than Engage because at least everyone could be able to play Power of Greed. But now the only players that could play Engage are the one that have room for a Sky Striker engine or that one bold player that decides to play Pure. The ball's on that guy or girl. Next we're going with the semi-limited list, which is now you can play double Iris Magician. I was very shocked about this because 1, I didn't even know it was on the ban list, but also 2, like everyone else, a lot of people was puzzled that none of the Drytron or Tri-Brigade cards was actually hit. Now for the Drytrons, it actually makes sense because Diviner of the Herald and that XYZ that people forget is once per turn is definitely a money maker for Konami. They sell Lightning Overdrive because of those 2 cards. But you as a community could change that. If you own a Diviner of the Herald, simply adding $200 to the market price would definitely thin out the amount of players playing this deck. Even the players that have a play set are going to decide to actually sell it just because of the price now. So definitely you as a community could change that. And finally we have the Unlimited, and the only card that was now at 3 is Symbol of Heritage. Now, a lot of people are underestimating this card because this card has the potential of making a lot of deck tier, like Harpies, Skull Servant, Pure Invoke when you have 2 Alistair and 1 Invoker of Madness engraved. Those are pro plays that a lot of people are underestimating now. And that's it for Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG Ban List for July 1st. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, and if you didn't, okay. And if you guys want a sneak peek of future products we're going to plan a review on today's episode or future episode, follow me on my Instagram, VaughnGear. I'm Vaughn, and it was fucking early.